Trying to record this video, attempt number 6, 7, I don't know what I'm at now. Trying to remember what I've been through. What is that? This is my third shirt I've been through. The first one looked too much like my covers. The second one wasn't tight enough. Made me look like I was a flipped up little Violet Beauregard. At least this one cuts off here, you know, but I don't have chest muscles that push together because I have fucking sternum. I can still, you know, flex, get decent, you know, hard muscle in there. Like, you could literally, I'll probably bruise, but it didn't, like, hurt, you know. So I'm on this one because at least it allows some shininess and some contouring and whatnot. Because body image. I was able to hold the glute bridge last night, but I couldn't stop thinking about seeing myself in that camera. This one. And to be fair, gravity does its thing, it was pulling everything down. The problem is that the belly was still sticking up, but if you were to actually go over there and push on my belly, it goes in this far. It goes straight to abs. I've got underneath fat. And I've just been sitting here. I'm getting so tired of like a few things from the United States. And I sympathize with Canadians. In fact, I sympathize, empathize, I get those words mixed up with Canadians. Because what do we do with the United States? What do we do with them? They're doing mass vaccinations, and I've got Canadians on here that I see that they don't know when their vaccinations are coming. They've been waiting to get an appointment since January. It's gonna be May tomorrow. That's where that one came from. And so, anyways. And so, like, with the vaccinations, it's going to be, like, absolutely crazy. And like I said, I sympathize with the Canadians. You know, we don't even know. We have no timetable. I've looked, the Canadian press outlets are saying, oh yeah, by the summer. Netherlands, oh, by the summer. Germany, by the summer. Nobody can talk to has any clue. Meanwhile, I think like 68% of the United States is vaccinated, at least with their first shot. We've got people that are like, oh, I have a health concern. Oh, I got this, oh, I got that, oh, I got this, I got that. I'm like, really? You have a health concern and you finally just got it? And I sympathize with the Canadians, but you guys have to like sit there and watch it. And I don't have the mental ability, and like I said, there's more things about the United States that are just bugging me. It's not just the vaccinations, it's just, that was kind of a major cracking point. Part of the issue I've had living abroad is not so much seeing the United States government from the outside, but seeing American culture from the outside. And it sounds stupid, it sounds crazy. And it's the things that I find here that I can't fully articulate. I can only show over time. I can only show that you can only get by living here and literally being able to go almost 24 hours without dealing with the United States. And part of the reason I left a lot of the gay community and the autistic community on Tumblr is because they're relatively toxic. And I try to avoid them on Twitter as best as possible, but the few people that I do like dip their toes, they're able to dip their toes back into it, so they like and they retweet stuff and it's all great, but it comes up on my timeline and I'm like, you're like splashing in the toxic gay community pool and you're okay, but there are some of us that are literally like hurt, literally mentally hurt by the fact that you mention the word sports around anybody in their bio with a rainbow flag and they harangue you. I don't watch sports. Why would I do that? Why would you do that? You're gay, aren't you? Oh, apparently you're not gay because you do sports. I've seen way too many things and I've absolutely not interested in the audio because it's a recorded audio over and over and over. I've heard it so many times. It's the same exact voice. There's no and it's just building toxicity within the gay community. And it has to deal with, I got my iced coffee And I blocked out any words for about sports because obviously, I'm just like, block it. I haven't seen any of those in a while. The filter's working really well. Aaron and I researched the whole iced coffee bullshit last night. And I'm really tired of the gay community striving for inclusion and equality when they don't actually fucking want it. They love the ability to judge and to ostracize. They want equality and inclusion in all things in society, but they depend on the cultural identity of superficially ostracizing people. And Aaron brought up last night that there's a lot of like self-hate in the world, in the gay world. They're just like, it's like getting into Star Trek and seeing Discovery and then going back and watching Voyager and seeing Deep Space Nine. You're watching all this stuff and you're like, wow, black captain, woman captain, good space battles, wisdom from the stars, Star Trek continent, Sonequa, all this stuff, aliens, robots, disabilities, awesome. And then you go into the Trekkie community and you realize it's a bunch of misogynistic bitch shits. The Republican caucus in the Senate, shall we say. And I just... like, that's why I made the TikTok about drinking black coffee. It's because I like it. I like the taste of it. I don't necessarily need it for emotional stability, perhaps. I've had a lot of coffee today, but my emotion's going down. I don't need it to wake up. I wake up well before that, and I'm fully spunky and able to get things going. I just like to drink it in the morning. I like to drink it as a comfort drink. And I had no problems with people who want to drink the Dutch Bros version. By the way, just for all you know, Dutch Bros in the Pacific Northwest doesn't actually serve coffee. You ask for an Americano, they ask what flavor. Because they don't know how to make an Americano at Dutch Bros. Starbucks, they do. That's what they make here. They give me an Americano because they don't really brew. Like, they have the machines and they may brew, like, drip coffee for, like, the first 2 hours of the morning. But then after, like, 10 o'clock, they don't have it anymore. Unless they're in a really high traffic area, like Bijlmer or Central. But most things aren't busy right now. But anyways, I just... The body image thing with dad bods and, And some of this is watching the rollerblading videos on like how to, and they're saying it's easy. Just cross your legs over and do this thing back and forth. This is how you do. This is how you get around corners. And I'm like, I fucking can't. My legs are huge. Like I can, but they're not. I can't get them close to each other. My thighs push into each other. I can't do that. I still do want to rollerblade. I still am practicing to rollerblade. When you guys watch the video, you'll see the progress that I've made. But there's just a lot of things I can't do at higher speeds. Unless I drop like 50 kilos, it seems like. And all these kids out here are just rail thin. And it's like there's no singular community. And then there's like this. Oh, they're starting to leave. Because that's from 24 hours ago. And I got responses for that stuff. Like Eric, wonderfulness, high school friend, one of those 20 years later comes back in to talk about things. Belgium says I'm actually part of a global community. That's great. I mean, they're reaching out and they're trying to help the global community of footballers outside the United States, and that's great, but it's not the same. And then someone from the original Pitbulls, we had a long conversation. First time we've ever had a conversation on Instagram. And then somebody here telling me about caterpillars, cocoons, butterflies, and eventually started moving down into much more adult topics and ended the conversation. And I was like, that's not what this is about. Like, they're just giving advice based on their thing. And then this last one, the whole thing was here's folks on social media talk about shadow banning, and I had to Google it because I've never been popular enough to get silenced on anything or shut down. Maybe the gays, but I don't fit in with their norm, so who knows? Maybe I've been shadow banned by them. Unless I fake in a complete personality, fit into a mold, I don't ever click in, blah, blah, blah. And he responds with, well, at least you have Aaron. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I have at least one person in my life and need to shut up about all my problems and never speak about them again. And it's just like, what in the fuck? What in the fuck is going on? I don't drink iced coffee. I don't paint my nails. The fact that I am gay, a lot of the football players just sort of keep me on a very outer ring. The gay community is so exclusive, non-inclusive, I guess, whatever. And the body shaming is just, it's super bad because people, it's like, what do you say when someone says, oh, I'm getting really fat and I just don't know how much I can handle this one, and they've gone up 10 pounds from drastically underweight. Sure, they've probably gained a little bit of weight and they feel a little bit bad about that, but they're, and I know I'm going to get people here that might see this that are offhanded and they're like, well, I'm like 350 pounds and I can't seem to lose any weight, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I have no reason to complain about anything because there are always people fatter than me and there are always people skinnier than me. There's always people more athletic than me and there are always people less athletic than me and all that jazz. And there are obviously people richer than me and there are people poorer than me, so I'm right in the middle. You know, there are people even hurt more by the gay community because of the toxicity around it, but it's just, I don't understand. I don't understand why Americans in the lower latitudes of the United States live in such a fucking warm area that they honestly think that everybody lives in these warm areas, and then in the middle of January you can just waltz out to any old field and just do your football stuff. And I'm like, I could go out to a field in the middle of January and do stuff. It's windy, it's sunny, or it's rainy, but the camera will fall over. I can't film any of that stuff because the camera is not perfect, and I'm not going to record it on a GoPro. It's expensive. I'm just not trying hard enough. I literally saw that on a post. And I flipped out on Twitter. I've just been like in the process of flipping the fuck out. Here's another one. One of the biggest lies I was told in the USA was appropriate effort equals appropriate reward. Folks are capped on what society allows them to have. You can see it in our dogs. They beg and whine long enough, putting in tons of effort to the point of making horrible, horrendous noises, then we'll get something left over. They will get something, they will get a trickle. Because the ones that have control what the have-nots don't have. And as long as the have-nots really keep trying, let them eat cake. And that's the thing, is it's not just in the United States, it's not just in that sort of thing. It's like they're all, you know, even the gay community is just like, oh, well, we'll see you if you're hot, but, you know, I'm not big enough for bears. I'm not small enough for otters. I'm too hairy for twinks. I'm too athletic for most gays. And I'm not gay enough because I drink black coffee for the rest of them. Oh, and apparently I have a lot of shit figured out and understand the bullshit of society that people don't like to hear truths. And it's coming to the generalized idea that people are going to say, oh, just be you, just be yourself. Do what you feel is right, what's nice. Yeah, I've been doing that one on this channel and throughout my entire life, we'll say 30 years now. That'll put me at the age of 9, getting into socializing in school. 5th grade, St. Joseph's. If you guys watch the live stream, you'll hear that, what that's all about. So, like 30 years of my life, I've been trying to do what is necessary to fit in and fit mold, and everyone tells me to do, to be myself and be me. But the combination that what is me doesn't fit in anywhere, and it drives people away because they don't like another aspect of the me. And I don't make it anywhere on social media because I am not spiking one point of my personality and doing everything about that, because I stay open enough about enough things that people like, oh, well, you're gay, rainbow flag, that's nice. Oh, you're married, bye. Oh, you're old, bye. Oh, you play sports, bye. Oh, you don't drink iced coffee, bye. You know, all that fucking shit. And I'm just, I've just lost it. The fire keeps burning. The fire keeps coming, and I have nothing left to burn. Tumblr's turned into misogynistic bullshit. Unless I post sexy gear pictures, nobody fucking noticed. Instagram has turned into just a literal echo chamber. I can't even express things on there without being gaslit or whatever that terminology is. Twitter was toxic the moment it started. Wasn't really expecting much there, but it got worse. And TikTok, I just gotta keep ignoring the super toxic people. Which is a whole lot of gays. Maybe we'll wait for the football season to come back around. NFL draft's happening right now. I'll wait for actual football season to come back around in the United States. And maybe I'll get popular. Maybe I'll get some more likes. Maybe I'll get some people following me that actually care, want to talk, want to interact, that actually comment. Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Maybe I can find 4 more places to scream into a void and have nobody fucking hear it. I don't have a problem with needing an ear to lay on, to talk to. I have a therapist. I need it much more often. I need someone with problems like me. But I even kind of worry that maybe if I met someone just like me, didn't look like me, but it's literally had every personality-ish of me, I would push them away too. I wouldn't deal with them. And I've thought about that one too. Would I help myself? Watch this video shoot up in views and likes and comments because I actually cried in it for once, rather than stuffed my feelings down like I'm supposed to. It's fine, we're here for you. I don't know really how to help, but just tell me anything you need. It's just the same broken record.